Good morning. Today we're in Bradenton, Florida, and we're at DeSoto National Memorial Park in Bradenton, and this is Camp Uzita. And here's a plaque. Listen as we read together about Camp Uzita. This Spanish camp was built to resemble DeSoto's base camp at the Indian village of Uzita. Under Captain Pedro Calderon's command, approximately 100 soldiers, sailors, and horsemen operated Camp Uzita as a supply port with instructions from DeSoto that they remain in that place, not moving to any other until he should send them new orders. For 5 months, Calderon's company guarded the expedition's supplies while DeSoto and the main army marched north towards present-day Tallahassee, Florida. Finally, DeSoto ordered Captain Calderon to abandon the base camp and join the main army in Tallahassee for the winter of 1539 to 1540. And this is Camp Uzita. And this is the gate. And this was apparently built in the 1500s under DeSoto's and Calderon's command. Let's read more about it over here. This is DeSoto and Calderon's shield. Knight of Santiago. Trained in horses and arms, 19-year-old Hernando DeSoto first traveled to Peru, the land of the Inca, in 1520. 16 years later, rich was plundered gold, he returned to Spain in triumph. This man, dry of words and stern experience, continued to dream of ever greater wealth and conquests, confident that they could be won as in the past by the reach of his lance and the edge of his sword. With new fame and influence, DeSoto finally secured a commission from the Spanish crown to explore, conquer, and settle Florida. He invested his fortune in this new grand adventure, and on the 6th of April, 1538, the armada and expedition of the new governor and captain general of the Kingdom of Florida set sail for the New World. The landing. Late in the afternoon of May 1539, DeSoto's armada of 9 ships and rode at anchor in a deep Florida bay. Decks and holds were heavily burdened with 700 men, 350 horses, packs of bloodhounds and Irish greyhounds, a herd of pigs, and a provision of arms and equipment necessary to sustain the expedition of conquest. The following day, indifferent to plumes of Indian signal smoke rising from the dense thickets, the men disembarked with high expectations. They had heard rumors that these lands would yield even more gold, silver, and precious gems and slaves than all of Mexico and Peru. Let's read about the Spanish crown. DeSoto was not the first conquistador nor the last to be licensed by the Spanish king to conquer and settle Florida. 3 previous attempts had ended in disaster. The crown risked little in authorizing private exploration. Under the terms of the king's contract, the crown was to receive a considerable share of the treasure without financial investment. 3 years after landing, DeSoto died of fever on March 21st, 1542. His personal equipment, 3 horses, 5 slaves, and 700 pigs, was auctioned to the 300 remaining soldiers of the expedition. DeSoto's death tarnished the golden myth of Florida And when Spanish efforts were rekindled 2 decades later, Indians were no longer their sole antagonists. The French had established Port Caroline near present-day Jacksonville, Florida. That sounds very interesting. DeSoto's was a very interesting life, and DeSoto's expedition was very successful. And here is the Gulf of Mexico as we now know it.